Hello everyone. Welcome back to UGC Net English Objective Type Questions Series 11. Let's begin with our first question. Amandine Lizelle Aurora Dupin is best known by her pen name Dash. Answer: George Sand. Amandine Lucille Aurora Dupin is best known by her pen name George Sand. Question number 2. The Medal of John Bass, a reply to the medal, which is a work written by Thomas Stradbell, occasioned John Dryden's writing of the poem Dash. Answer: McFlugno. The Medal of John Bass, a reply to the medal written by Thomas Stradbell, occasioned John Dryden's writing of the poem McFlugno. Question number 3. Then said she, I am very dreary, he will not come. She said, she wept, I am every, O God, that I were dead. Which poem of Alfred Lord Tennyson ends thus? Answer: Mariana. Then said she, I am very dreary, he will not come. She said, she wept, I am every, O God, that I were dead. Which poem of Alfred Lord Tennyson ends thus? Mariana. Question number 4. And which poem of John Keats the narrator is challenged by a mysterious figure named Moneta to climb upon a stairs? Answer: The Fall of Hyperion, a Dream. In which poem of John Keats the narrator is challenged by a mysterious figure named Moneta to climb upon stairs? The Fall of Hyperion, a Dream. Question number 5. We study language varieties in Dash. Answer: Sociolinguistics. We study language varieties in sociolinguistics. Moving on to the 6th question. Dash is the 12th century Welsh monk who wrote the first comprehensive history of King Arthur in his book titled The History of the Kings of England. Answer: Geoffrey of Monmouth. Geoffrey of Monmouth is the 12th century Welsh monk who wrote the first comprehensive history of King Arthur in his book titled The History of the Kings of England. Question number 7. In literature, polyphony is a feature of narrative which includes a diversity of simultaneous points of view and voices. The concept was introduced by Dash using a metaphor based on the musical term polyphony. Answer: Mikhail Bakhtin. In literature, polyphony is a figure of narrative which includes a diversity of simultaneous points of views and voices. The concept was introduced by Mikhail Bakhtin using a metaphor based on the musical term polyphonic. Now question number 8. What are the missing middle names of the famous Australian writer Patrick White? Answer: Patrick Victor Martindale White. What are the missing middle names of the famous Australian writer Patrick White? Patrick Victor Martindale White. Now question number 9. Dash is the author of the 14th century work Polychronicon, the first real historical work in English since the work The Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, translated by John of Trevisa. Answer: Ranulf Hegeden. Ranulf Hegeden is the author of the 14th century work titled Polychronicon, the first real historical work in English since the work The Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, translated by John of Trevisa. Now question number 10. Which is referred to as socially or situationally defined style of a language? Answer: register. Register refers to a socially or situationally defined style of language. Question number 11. In the poem titled Visions of the Past, which is a poem in Miltonic blank verse, the poet handles the Christian theme of the temptation and fall and redemption of man. Who is this Indian English poet? Answer: Michael Madhusudan Dutt. In the poem titled Visions of the Past, 1849, which is a poem in Miltonic blank verse, the poet handles the Christian themes of the temptation and fall and the redemption of man. Who is this Indian English poet? Michael Madhusudan Dutt. The poem is Visions of the Past. Question number 12. The main character of this novel is Piali Roy, who is a young marine biologist of Bengali Indian descent but a stubbornly American. Answer: The Hungry Tide, written by Amitabh Ghosh. The main character of this novel is Piali Roy, who is a young marine biologist of Bengali Indian descent but is stubbornly American. The Hungry Tide, written by Amitabh Ghosh. Moving on to the next question number 13. What is the most important part of literature for a Marxist? Answer: the context. What is the most important part of literature for a Marxist? The context. Now question number 14. Melanchthon, a young general, returns from a military campaign which he has just concluded, winning peace for Rhodes. He is greeted by the king's brother Lysippus. Melanchthon expects to have returned to witness the wedding of his friend Aminta with Aspatia, his betrothed, but instead the king has ordered Aminta to marry Melanchthon's sister Evidina in order to honor her brother's military achievements, which is displayed. Answer: The Maid's Tragedy, written by Francis Beaumont and John Fletcher. Melanchthus, a young general, returns from a military campaign which he has just concluded, winning peace for Rhodes. He is greeted by the king's brother Lysippus. Melanchthus expects to have returned to witness the wedding of his friend Aminta with Aspatia, his betrothed, but instead the king has ordered Aminta to marry Melanchthus' sister Everdene in order to honor her brother's military achievements. The play is The Maid's Tragedy, written by Francis Beaumont and John Fletcher. Question number 15. A dash is a poem or other composition in which the first letter or syllable or word of each line or paragraph or other recurring features in the text spells out a word, message, or the alphabet. For example, Elizabeth, it is in vain you say love not, thou sayest it is so sweet a way. In vain those words from thee or lel. Xantipp's talents had enforced so well. If that language from thy heart arise, breathe it less gently forth, and veil thine eyes. Endymion, recollect when Luna tried to cure his love, was cured of all beside, his folly, pride, and passion, for he died. So we can read the first letters as Elizabeth, Elizabeth, the first word of the passage. So this is called answer acrostic. Acrostic. Acrostic is a poem or other composition in which the first letter or syllable or word of each line or paragraph or other recurring features in the text spells out a word, message, or the alphabet. For example, as we can see, Elizabeth, it is in vain you say love not, thou sayest it is so sweet a way, in vain those words from thee or lel. Xantipp's talents had enforced it so well. If that language from thy heart arise, breathe it less gently forth, and veil thine eyes. Endymion, recollect when Luna tried to cure his love, was cured of all beside, his folly, pride, and passion, for he died. Now question number 16. A dash is the first prominent poet of Middle England. Answer, Layman. Layman is the first prominent poet of Middle England. Question number 17. Count Lodovico is banished from Rome for debauchery and murder. His friends Gasparo and Antonelli promises to work for the repeal of his sentence. The Duke of Bracciano has conceived a violent passion for Vittoria Corabona, daughter of a noble but impoverished Venetian family, despite the fact that they are both married to other people. Which is this tragic play? Answer, John Webster's The White Double. Count Lodovico is banished from Rome for debauchery and murder. His friends Gasparo and Antonelli promise to work for the repeal of his sentence. The Duke of Bracciano has conceived a violent passion for Vittoria Corabona, daughter of a noble but impoverished Venetian family, despite the fact that they are both married to other people. The tragic play is John Webster's The White Double. Number 18. Remembering Burundi and a La March Ox Yearns, are poems of the African writer Answer, Ketty Nivyabhanti. Remembering Burundi, the La March Ox Earns, are poems of the African writer Ketty Nivyabanti. Now, question number 19. Dash is the best known for his theory of cultural hegemony, which describes how the state and ruling capitalist class, the bourgeoisie, use cultural institutions to maintain power in capitalist societies. Answer: Antonio Francisco Gramsci. Antonio Francisco Gramsci, in short we can say Antonio Gramsci, is best known for his theory of cultural hegemony, which describes how the state and ruling capitalist class, that is the bourgeoisie, use cultural institutions to maintain power in capitalist societies. Question number 20. The Newton Letter is a 1982 novella written by answer John Banville. The Newton Letter is a 1982 novella written by John Banville. Question number 21. Sir Toby's famous verse, "Dost thou think, because thou art virtuous, there shall be no more cakes and ale?" These lines occur in William Shakespeare's answer, Twelfth Night. Sir Toby's famous verse, "Dost thou think, because thou art virtuous, there shall be no more cakes and ale?" These words occur in William Shakespeare's play Twelfth Night. Moving on to question number 22. In 1835, the wealthy and respected Borenbrooks, a family of grain merchants, invited friends and relatives to dinner in their new home in Lubbock. The family consists of a patriarch, John Borenbrook Jr., and his wife Antoinette, and the son Joan III, also called Jean, and his wife Elizabeth, and the latter's three school-age children, sons Thomas and Kristen, and a daughter, Antony, in short called Tony. Bodenbrooks was the debut novel of the German writer Dash. Answer: Thomas Mann. In 1835, the wealthy and respected Bodenbrooks, a family of grain merchants, invited friends and relatives to dinner in their new home in Lubbock. The family consists of patriarch John Bodenbrook Jr. and his wife Antoinette, and the sons John III, in short called Ron, and his wife Elizabeth, and the latter's three school-age children, sons Thomas and Kristen, and a daughter, Antony, in short called Tony. Bodenbrooks was the debut novel of the German writer Dash. Answer: Thomas Mann. Question number 23. Listening and speaking are said to be answer: productive skills and receptive skills. Listening and speaking are said to be productive skills and receptive skills. Question number 24. Wilkie Collins' work, The Moonstone, was described by Dash as the first and greatest of English detective novels. Answer: T.S. Eliot. Wilkie Collins' The Moonstone was described by T.S. Eliot as the first and greatest of English detective novels. Question number 25. In London, during the Blitz, Arthur Rowe attends a charity fete. Convicted of murder for a mercy killing of his wife, he has just been released from a psychiatric prison. A fortune teller tells him the answer to the Guess the Weight of Cake competition, enabling Rowe to win it, which is this novel by Graham Greene. Answer: The Ministry of Fear. In London, during the Blitz, Arthur Rowe attends a charity fete. Convicted of murder for a mercy killing of his wife, he has just been released from a psychiatric prison. A fortune teller tells him the answer to the question, Guess the Weight of the Cake competition, enabling Rowe to win it, which is this novel written by Graham Greene, The Ministry of Fear. The main character is Arthur Rowe. Question number 26. Another work titled The Complaint of the Deer. The deer is a dash. Answer: minstrel. And a complaint of the deer is a minstrel. Question number 27. The gang of four of structuralism include dash. Answer: Levi-Strauss, Jacques Lacan, Roland Barthes, and Michel Foucault. The gang of four of structuralism include Levi-Strauss, Jacques Lacan, Roland Barthes, and Michel Foucault. Question number 28. In a Romeo and Juliet, Romeo kills both dash and dash. Answer: Tybalt and Count Paris. In Romeo and Juliet, Romeo kills both Tybalt and Count Paris. Question number 29. The Indian Muse in English Garb, 1876, is a collection of poems written by Answer: Bahramchi Marwanchi Malabari. Bahramchi Marwanchi Malabari. The Indian Muse in English Garb, 1876, is a collection of poems written by Bahramchi Marwanchi Malabari. Now the last question. This novel tells the story of a soft, domesticated protagonist, an intellectual man named Humphrey Van Weyden, forced to become tough and self-reliant by exposure to cruelty and brutality. Which is this novel? Answer: The Sea Wolf, written by the American writer Jack London. This novel tells the story of a soft, domesticated protagonist, an intellectual man named Humphrey Van Weyden, forced to become tough and self-reliant by exposure to cruelty and brutality. The novel is The Sea Wolf by the American writer Jack London. The main character is Humphrey Van Weyden. So that's all for today. We will meet again in the next class with some more interesting questions.